Welcome back to Words Are Tough. My name is Jose Rodriguez, and I'm here with my co-host,
David Diokendo.
And this is episode 25. That is one quarter in our journey to a buck.
Yeah. It's like a long time, but a short time, because we've been, 6 months?
Yeah.
About that?
Yeah.
25 episodes in 6 months? Not bad.
Yeah, a lot happens in that time frame, but yet, you just
a lot of learning happens.
Yeah, you try to be as productive as possible. Now we're here, episode 25. Thank you for those of you who have been supporting us through the 25 episodes. And if this is your first episode, thank you as well for joining us.
And subscribe.
Yeah, like, subscribe, and click the bell. It helps us out a lot.
What was that? This one comedian says, make friends in the comments. Yeah, do that.
Nice. Yeah.
Make friends in the comments. I'm stealing that, but I forgot who said that. But yeah, so I don't know when this is coming out, but we're nearing closer to Christmas, which is very fast because it felt like I blinked and like 2021 happened. I blinked and then it was like August, and I blinked again. Now it's December. I guess we're gonna talk more about holiday stuff. Like I will admit, and I'm noticing little by little, I'm a grumpy person. I think this podcast has shown that I'm actually way more grumpy than I thought. I'm actually a bit of a Grinch during holidays, which I mentioned in a previous episode, where I have a bit of a seasonal depression thing, and I get really grinchy during the holidays. Not that I dislike people, I just don't want to do anything.
Yeah, I
don't know if you're the same way. I mean, I do things, but begrudgingly.
Yeah, I guess now that I'm older, and now when I think back also, I was never really like a holiday person, I don't look forward to the holidays. Even my birthday, I'm not yes, my birthday's coming up.
Yeah, 2 weeks and 7 days and 2 days. It's oh, it's my birthday. All right.
It's more for me like a measuring of time type of thing.
Yeah.
That'll be Christmas by then, and I should have this done by then.
Yeah, it's not like something you like, hey, that's happening, I can't wait. It's more like, oh, wow, that's fast. Or, oh, Thanksgiving just passed by, and that's fast. Actually, did you do anything for Thanksgiving? I didn't even mention that before.
Yeah, actually, yeah. If you watched the last episode, I was talking about, the whole COVID situation.
Right.
And I was that happened right on Thanksgiving. So we were quarantined. My family all went to spend it with, our extended family and things like that. But just out of precaution, I stayed here. And my fiance couldn't go anywhere, so I just stayed with her. We got some Boston Market. Actually,
I haven't had that in a long time.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I completely lied. We normally do get Boston Market on Thanksgiving or the day before or after. We like to do that. But we went to Empanada Mommy's here in Garfield, the new place, and she has a Thanksgiving empanada.
Mommy's.
And we had that. We had an empanada, Thanksgiving Day empanada. Nice. And it was great. Yeah. But yeah, that's usually our ritual. We go to Boston Market.
I haven't been to one in a long time.
It's good.
But for me, it was I went to the Ironbound in Newark. That was where my wife's family, her immediate family, is. So we went there.
Awesome.
It was good. How some people say, oh, my in-laws, can't. I'm like, no, they're cool. Actually, I really like them. They're super supportive. I don't speak Portuguese though. I'm trying to. I mean, I speak some Spanish, or I understand Spanish really well. I speak it poorly, but if I heard someone speak Portuguese, I kind of understand what they're saying most of the time. And my ex is Brazilian, and I have this trend of being with people that are either Brazilian or Portuguese or in the Latin, I guess, demographic of sorts.
Mm-hmm. But are they Portuguese from the mainland?
From Portugal, yeah.
From Portugal, okay. Not from Brazilian Portuguese.
That's completely different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why I was asking, because also my fiance's close friends, she considers family, they're from Portugal as well. So yeah. I'm learning a lot of Portuguese. I actually know a lot, but mine is Brazilian.
Yeah, and because of jiu-jitsu, doing jiu-jitsu for since I was 7, so going on 14, 15 years, you pick up some Brazilian, Portuguese here and there. So first sponsor is Nbox. Give your home-based business its own mailroom. View your open and scan mail from an encrypted app Have it forwarded, held for pickup, or shredded and recycled. We'll even include a commercial business address to protect your privacy. Visit www.nboxdelivers.com to see more.
And for our next sponsor, we have Premier Rank Marketing. They can help you out if you have a business, whether it's selling stuff online or you have a brick and mortar location, restaurants, gyms. The company's helped so many people during the pandemic grow their online presence. So if you need any help from social media to Facebook targeting campaigns, Google, LinkedIn, and all the other, even TikTok, they do TikTok ads. Just reach out to Premier Rank Marketing and let them know that WordsrTough sent you, and they'll hook you up with a huge discount. Our third sponsor here, we have Worldwide Solutions, located in Clifton. They do taxes, travel, and insurance. Any type of business needs you have. They can even, give you a good direction to go if you need some payroll services, things like that. And definitely check them out. Their info is right below. And our fourth sponsor is Rick's Barbershop in Garfield, New Jersey. If you have a important date coming up, you're going to a wedding, things like that, you're going to be photographed, definitely check them out. They're the most precise barbers in the area, and they'll definitely hook you up if you tell them WordsrTough sent you. Jose and David just mention those names, and they'll be like, no problem, right away. We'll hook you up. We just want to say thank you to all of our sponsors, and back to the show.
When I kind of speak it, it's very Brazilian sounding, not Portuguese.
Like, are you speaking Spanish?
Yeah. But I won't say who it was, but one relative broke the rule about you don't speak politics at Thanksgiving.
Okay.
It was terrible. Well, the person didn't they meant well, and they weren't malicious, but they just got excited and they needed to talk about politics. Well, my brother is in the military, and he just came back from Germany, and he goes everywhere. Like, he's been to interesting places, fun places, and interesting places. Interesting as in not the safest. And one family member was like, "Oh, like, in a nutshell, like, thank you for your service. Now let me tell you why the U.S. military is dog shit," kind of thing, and how we can fix it. And my brother's like, "All right, like, I don't. What do you want me to do?"
He was game to listen.
Like, what do you? I mean, my brother was very understanding. It is. It's really reading the person, their intent. Mm-hmm. If they're just legit, like, I'm super concerned and this is how we can fix it, it's like, oh, cool. I mean, I'm not the person to talk to about that, but all right, like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know about your concerns about the U.S. military. Somewhere, like, if someone told me about, like, this is why, public education sucks, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm a teacher and thank you for letting me know, but what am I gonna do? I'm just an art teacher.
Thank you for adding this onto my daily struggle.
Yeah, like, I appreciate it, but
bearing this new cross.
Yeah, can't really do anything about that, can I? Teacher pay sucks. It does suck. I know. What am I supposed to do? Anyway, but other than that, it was pretty good. And I'm saying I want to keep people's identity private because they are my wife's family, and I like them a lot, and I want to keep them. I want them to like me a lot, so I won't say any details.
Definitely. Yeah.
I want to keep that a positivity between us. But speaking of are you you're not much of a Grinch when it comes to holiday stuff. I mean, do you even celebrate? It's kind of weird. Do we even I don't technically celebrate Christmas. I kind of go through the motions of Christmas stuff. Like, okay, we have a tree. I already have gifts, but I'm not like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
There's literally a baby Jesus in my living room, right below, 2 floors below.
You have a manger and everything.
There's reindeer too. Santa.
Is your family like Catholic?
Yeah, they're very Catholic. Not in the sense of church Catholic, but
not
very religious.
But okay, yeah, and, I know that too.
Yeah, and both of their names are biblical names, and they pray every day. So it's like
their Hail Marys and their
they have their God and
Their God. The way they say they have their God. Like, okay. Jesus.
I believe in God, just, making sure I say that. But I mean, like, because like the way they say God is different to everyone,
Yeah.
That's their.
I mean, that's a whole completely different
It's just
topic.
get too deep.
It was not deep, but it's I get that students ask me, or people ask me, oh, so what are you when it comes to like religion? Like, I'm nothing. I mean, if you want to put a name on it, I'm technically a heathen. Because like, I don't follow a particular religion anymore, and by that definition, I guess you can say heathen. But heathen,
would you say you're agnostic, or agnostic is the higher power? Like, you think there's something?
Yeah, yeah. I guess I'm like, the thing that agnostics are so indifferent about being agnostic. No one's a hardcore agnostic.
Yeah.
Like, have you met a hardcore agnostic?
Nah,
they're like, yeah, sure. Yeah, kind of like libertarian. Yeah, do what you want. Do what you want. Just don't hurt anybody. That's how I am with like that. It's like, hey, as long as you're not hurting yourself or hurting other people, and you're making the world a little bit better, yeah, do your thing. I mean, I don't know about Scientology, but yeah, that's questionable. So
yeah, Scientology.
You're getting once you start getting into like culty stuff. Oh, I don't know about that. Anyway, but when it comes to Christmas stuff. Like, I think there's certain things that just have to go. One, I'm a bit of a environmentalist. Like, I want to make sure I'm not wasteful. But, like, things like inflatable decorations I can't stand. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't get first of all, when did they happen? Do you remember, like, the year? Like, oh, yeah, when was the first time you saw an inflatable decoration?
If I had to put a year in it, I would say, like, 2009.
2009?
Yeah. Because it was like a haze, and the next thing I knew, I'm like,
yeah, because
they were out there.
Because I don't remember like inflatable decorations, and then all of a sudden, like everyone had them. Like they were everywhere, and I think it might have been 08, 09, but it was just bizarre. I found it obnoxious, and also when you turn them off, you just have these sort of like deflated pieces of plastic on your lawn, and they just leave them there. Yeah. And then like it just. It looks annoying when they're on, and it looks disgusting when they're off. Or even, you said you decorate outside. I don't even remember. We're at your house, but I don't even remember if you.
It's because you usually come during the daytime.
Yeah,
so they're off.
And I kind of go in the back.
But you'll see them on the way out. But yeah, there's like a Santa outside, and then there's like my fiance bought a corgi version with like dressed up like Santa Claus that like just sits at our doorstep and it lights up.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then there's like little, the little like regular icicle lights on the front porch. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think I want to get a Krampus.
I was gonna say one thing I wanted was Krampus awareness, more Krampus awareness. Yeah,
I want to get a Krampus like decorative thing, a life-size Krampus guy like on my front lawn or. Somewhere or on the roof. That'd be interesting. Yeah. Like they're terrible. Have you seen like? There's a Krampus. What do you call it? Parade. I don't know. Some Scandinavian. I think maybe German. I have no clue where.
I appreciate Krampus a lot, and there so much so. There was a movie that came out. I didn't watch it because I didn't want to sway me on Krampus. What I think.
Well, I was gonna watch Krampus the movie. And my brother is like, hey, come and let's watch this movie. And my wife was like, I don't want to watch Krampus. I'm like, come on. Like, no, it's scary. I'm like, all right. She hates, like, scary movies.
Yeah, it's kind of got, like, that, like, Jack and Jill vibe, like where the lady with the pot kind of.
Yeah.
And, but, yeah, I always loved Krampus because I just loved the fact of, like, the adults are like telling the story to little kids so they are nice, but it's like such a thing like in America it's like, oh, you get a lump of coal and you're on a list. Yeah, this one, no,
you die. I mean, I'd mention kids a lot, but if I ever have kids, I'm teaching them Krampus and Santa Claus. Like, hey, which one do you want this year? Because it's like, okay, Santa Claus or no gift. All right, fine, I guess I won't have a gift. It's like, or Santa Claus or Krampus, which one do you want? Of course, up until like, I don't know, what's a good age where you stop telling kids about Santa Claus?
I think with internet nowadays, probably like around 9, 10.
Yeah. I forgot where I got this information, but it was sort of like you don't want to be the parent that tells your kid too early then you just have that douchey child that just tells every kid Santa Claus isn't real. But you also don't want to be the last parent to say it, because you don't be like their kid to be the last kid to know that.
I'd want to have a friend that I know his kid would be the douchey kid to say it to my kids. And then they just handles it for me.
Yeah.
You know? That'll be, yeah.
It's interesting. But yeah, I think being more aware of Krampus is, I don't know. I just think it's really that side of, I guess you can say, holiday mythology. I guess use that word. Holiday mythology is important, because the whole thing, it's just not that interesting. I mean, there is this one movie with Mel Gibson, and he's plays Santa Claus. It's like a hardcore Santa Claus character.
Wow.
Where it's a really crappy rich kid. I call him miniature Donald Trump. But legit, like when my mom. When mom saw it, he's like, "Oh my god, that's like Donald Trump." I'm like, "It is kind of like Donald Trump." I legit think the writers use Donald Trump as a reference for this particular character, but it's like a child, and this kid is like mean, and he's like, "I didn't get my gifts," and then he hires a hitman to kill Santa Claus.
Oh my god!
And Santa Claus is Mel Gibson.
That's funny. That's such a funny premise.
And it's funny, but it's really weird, and it's kind of interesting. They kind of make Santa Claus a bit more of a grounded, like practical person. Like he's like obviously immortal and everything, but like there's no like oversaturated reds and greens, and you know.
Gotcha. It's like Lucifer, like that show Lucifer. It's not as
that's a dumb show, but okay.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like it doesn't focus too much on like the red hell. And like,
the horns.
You know,
I mean, he looked. I mean, I saw a few clips of him online of the show Lucifer. I'm like, that's a interesting premise, but yeah, I get it. Yeah, I don't know why make. I guess the thing is, you know, what's interesting. I didn't know we were gonna go all religious today. I mean, in a way, if you read the Bible and if you read the description of Lucifer, he's like the most handsome, beautiful angel ever.
He is. I
mean, according to the Bible, he's actually
an angel.
a very like the most beautiful angel you've ever seen.
Yeah, he was like the shit of angels.
Yeah. So technically that would be accurate if you actually had an actual Lucifer character.
He turned heel. You know?
Yeah, he turned heel.
Yeah. But
my mom is not gonna like this episode at all, because I know she listens to it. She's like, "I don't like it that you curse so much." Like, I don't curse that much. It's like, I could curse a whole lot more, but like, or actually, speaking of decoration, Christmas lights projections. Those projectors.
Ooh. Speaking of that, something I never mentioned on this podcast yet. A couple years back, in this very house we're sitting in, we had
Krampus?
Family coming over, and we had those like the lights that like shine on the house, and it shows like the kind of like laser show.
It's a projection with like LED lights or whatever.
Yeah, and we turned them on, and then we went like to the liquor store, like me and my dad, and my sister showed up, and they were missing. And then when we got home, she's like, "What happened to the lights?" I'm like, "They were." I literally took a selfie with like in the green like lights on me that same day before we left. Then someone took them right off our house while there was family in here celebrating Christmas.
Like, oh, that's cool. And just yank.
Yeah, and in the back and in the front of the house, both sets of lights, they just ripped them out.
That's commitment, but why? I don't get it. Yeah. Like, that's not Christmas spirit. Like, but imagine like it was like your neighbor from across the street, and they just put it on their side. Like, but I think that's mine.
Yeah, I was like joyriding around the neighborhood, like just
like looking at
people.
They probably resold it or something like that.
Yeah, definitely went to like cash converters.
That's kind of messed up though. Like, why would you steal from someone's like front
stealing property. A cheer? You know, their Christmas cheer.
But yeah, those like those Christmas projections, I guess it makes sense because like you want to like decrease the whole like hanging things up and all that danger of like you don't want to like fall off a ladder.
Yeah,
they just look so aesthetically unpleasing to me. I don't know.
It's still too basic, But you know, have you seen? There was this video of
I don't think you're talking about. Yeah.
This guy. I guess he works in like sound engineering and also lighting for like concerts, and he like rigged his house up to like Rage Against the Machine with the Matrix. That thing is amazing, and I'm gonna remember to put that in the description, like a link of that.
Yeah. People get really creative with it. I like when I see like actual craftsmanship and skill, like, oh, this person spent hours with this and like synced that music to like the lights and everything. Like, that's great. Like, I'm all for that. But like, not calling you lazy, but like just grabbing like some light projection and blink, and then like there it goes. Like, try a little bit more. I don't know. But then again, this is me. Like, I hate putting Christmas lights up, so I'm being hypocritical. But I don't know. Have you ever had fruitcake?
The popular Christmas.
Yeah, just
panettone. They call it or something, right?
I've never had fruitcake.
Italian, the Italian cake. I have. My few soirees with Italian girls, that
I mean, you live in Bergen County.
Yeah, so I have had that, and from what I know, that's like the kind of like the Italian version of like a gift card. Like you just, it's like you just give it to everyone, like you buy a bunch of them and like give it to people, like kind of an informal gift, supposedly. But they sell, and people give them and people appreciate them.
Yeah, and it's weird that the word fruitcake is also like a derogatory term.
Yeah, you you just reminded me of something really funny that happened at Wawa.
Because you mentioned Italian and fruitcake, and I was like, oh yeah, that's
some people use that.
Is that a slur?
It's because the whole fruit thing. There was this guy standing in line, and he's like this big, like 6'4", like construction guy. He's all dirty and like muscle, like he goes to the gym before and after work.
Yeah,
and he's like all dirty, and all of a sudden I'm waiting for I was getting a salad because I'm trying to watch the LBs a little bit. So I'm waiting for my salad, and this woman's just like, fruity cheesecake frappuccino with extra whipped cream, and she just like puts it there, and he's just like, like all defeated, like walking up and like grabbing it. Like they never yell out what you get, they just say a number. They're like 45.
They just say your name or the number.
But he was just like, like he was walking, and she kept talking as he was walking over, and like bullets were hitting him.
Yeah, that's a first. They normally don't. I mean, that's not true. I think maybe once or twice I went to Starbucks and they yelled out like caramel macchiato or something like that. But I only ordered caramel macchiato because I didn't know what else to get. Yeah, I was in college, like, caramel macchiato. But that's only because, in my opinion, Starbucks coffee is terrible. So they just add a bunch of sugar to it and caramel, so it tastes better.
Yeah. What coffee do you like?
Right now, I like this thing called Kahlua. It's like this Hawaiian brand. It's like it's blue container with this ethnic woman in the front. Okay. Go on ShopRite. It's like $3. It's delicious, but add a tiny bit of sugar in it and milk. You're good. But the reason why, if I ever went to Starbucks, I got like the most sugary thing is because like I'd never actually liked the taste of Starbucks coffee.
Yeah.
There you go. But I always tell people, like, you don't actually like coffee. You like caramel. You like sugar. You like milk. You like all these extra spices they put in there. You don't like coffee. If there's no caffeine in it, you would still drink it.
Yeah. I do the black coffee.
I do that too. Yeah,
I actually enjoy that. If it's early in the morning, I like that.
I like Bustelo black coffee.
Yeah, and
that's strong.
And then I've learned to love, like the cream and like Splenda when I'm on keto, and like that kind of still works with keto, and I want something like with sugar a little bit. I could kind of trick myself, but there was one thing that it was like, when I wasn't on the diet, I tried it and it was amazing, but it was just like disgusting. Like I was drinking this and I'm like, I should never drink this again. But it was so good. They had this like peanut butter Halloween coffee
that sounds disgusting.
It was like peanut butter Halloween. It's basically like almost like a peanut butter cup type of thing. And they made the peanut butter flavoring look orange, so it had the Halloween theme.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was like a latte. It was amazing. But I don't like really, really sweet things. But that, if you don't stir it, it's sweet because it's
you gotta
peanut butter syrup.
Mix everything together. But
next Halloween, try that if you didn't try it.
Yeah, I don't. I've actually
share it with someone.
I've actually never had fruitcake, and I'm okay never having it. Like I find no appeal in eating a
It's
fruitcake.
nice. Yeah, it's nice. It's like you like carrot cake. You ever had
Nope.
carrot cake? No. Oh,
Don't
okay.
like it.
I like carrot cake too, but a little whipped cream on it. You know,
Well,
give it a little moisture.
That's not true. I like my wife's carrot cake. She
Nice
makes
catch.
it
Nice catch.
differently. She doesn't listen to this, but it's okay. I do like my wife's carrot cake though. When she's made it 1 or 2 times, pretty good. She really likes making like bread and anything with yeast and dough. She likes to make. Like she made like twisted donuts. Like
Nice.
you twist it and add cinnamon on it. She made, I think once a week she'll make like bread or some sort of bread, some carbohydrate, and we'll eat it throughout the week. And it's, when you taste it, it's very different. It doesn't like when I eat like carbs from like the store, like a cake from a store, which is rare, but, or like, you know, just you go to a holiday get together and they're just like sweets and whatever. It feels different. It feels in your stomach. It does feel different.
It's like mega processed.
Yeah, and even like some of like the glazing or stuff, it's just too much. But when you make it at home, you decide how much sugar you add into it. You can add like, or not put any sugar into it, or glazing. You can make your own glazing and make sure it's like good for you. But when she makes it, I actually don't feel groggy or disgusting later.
Yeah.
But you still got to be careful though. It's still carbohydrates.
Definitely. And also like, yeah, but also like the limited amount of ingredients you actually need to make it, you know, being that like she's
And
money
wise, yeah.
Yeah, she's making it and you're eating it like right away. You don't have to sit on a shelf for 10 months and still be good, you know?
Yeah.
So
that too. Yeah, that's, you should be eating it within the week, or you put it in the freezer. But if you're putting out a cake out for a few weeks and it's still good, then I would not be eating that cake.
That's where I think is what doesn't make you feel good.
Some of the extra chemicals in there.
Yeah.
Everything is chemicals, but you know what I mean. One thing about Christmas I hate is wishing for a white Christmas. I wrote it in quotes, white Christmas. I'm using this word loosely. I don't really hate people, but I'm going to use the word hate. If you wish anyone a white Christmas, I hate you. I really do. If you wish me a white Christmas, I hate you. Like, do not wish people a white Christmas. That's ridiculous. No one wants it to snow. Like, people that wish that are just like, do you want me to shovel for like 3 or 4 hours? Like, when I see snow, I think shoveling.
Yeah.
I think accidents. I think people not being able to drive. I think bumper to bumper traffic. I think...
Yeah, I think about if my landscaper's going to get his shit together at my job and have it plowed out.
I'm thinking hopefully my roof is intact and isn't leaking. Like, yeah, like...
Did I clean my gutters?
Yeah, did I clean your gutters? You know, because the last thing you want is you don't clean your gutters, the water builds up, and you literally have like 6 feet long icicles. They're like this, as big as this figurine here.
Yeah.
God forbid that breaks and someone gets hurt and you get sued.
You got a chipped shoulder.
All because you wish someone a white Christmas. Therefore, I hate you.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, what are your thoughts on like the whole, I mean, obviously you say white Christmas as in like a good luck thing. It's like you know, like saying happy holidays, but like, are you a fan of, like, what's your favorite like season? Like,
my favorite season, it has to be fall. Definitely, like fall, when it gets chilly and, you know, hoodies come back out and things like that. But it's still nice out where, like, you don't have to wear a coat, where your face isn't, like, frostbitten if you go, you know. That's, like, where I like it. Like, kind of like how it's going to be tomorrow, but I heard it's going to rain a little bit.
Yeah. I like fall and early spring. Not late spring, early spring. Like, right when, like, winter's becoming spring.
Yeah.
I like that. Because it's almost like fall, but in reverse.
Yeah, yep.
It's very fall-y, but not quite.
Yeah.
And things are growing again. Like the snow is still there, but it's kind of melting.
The reservoirs are still kind of damp. Yeah. but like, they're green again.
But winter and like on paper, or like when I say on paper, like the idea of snow is like really pretty. Like you take pictures, you're bundled up and you go out, take pictures for like the grandparents or whatever. Sure, it looks pretty, but like pragmatically, like it's terrible. Like, I don't like it. Especially, like, my thing is always travel. People just don't know how to drive. Like, they really don't.
They don't.
They just, like, you're driving a Honda Civic. Like, what are you doing? Or, like, it's always, like, that one car, like, that car shouldn't do that. Why are you driving that car like that in the winter? And then, what was it, like 2-3 years ago in the winter of 2018 or 17, there was one just really big snowstorm that lasted maybe like 3 hours. I think I mentioned
it was like the bomb cyclone.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it like a few episodes ago. Yeah, like that was like ridiculous. And there were people like up going at 280 or 208, just like sliding all the way down. It was like, that was interesting.
There was
situation.
another name for it too. There was the bomb cyclone, and then there was like I forgot, but yeah, it was just like an unprecedented amount of snowfall within a short period of
like,
time.
Yeah, 2-3 hours.
Yeah, there's a name for it.
I remember it because that's the same day we had parent-teacher conferences.
Of course.
And I love teaching art. It's just there's certain things that have to change. That's all I'm gonna say before I get fired. But
yeah, don't get fired.
No.
Shout out to that's a Jalen and Jacoby thing. Hashtag don't get fired. It's a sports podcast, but shout out to them.
Jalen and Jacoby.
Yeah, like when they say things that could get you fired on ESPN,
yeah,
don't get fired.
I like that. Don't get fired. Speaking of fired, it was a great segue. The Christmas tree in New York City was set on fire.
Yeah, toasty.
By some homeless guy.
Yeah, he climbed up there.
Did he climb up?
Yeah, he climbed up and he brought like pieces of paper with him. He was like stuffing it in, and he lit the papers, and then he was admiring his work from afar.
That's commitment. I mean, I heard that he's a bit of an infamous guy that's been doing things for a while, but because of what he does is there's some sort of legal loophole that he kind of got a slap. I don't know. This is not the news, but look it up. But there's a reason why he keeps getting like, arrested and they let him go. But I heard this guy has like a record or like a history of like doing things like this.
He picks his battles, like, I guess.
I heard he's like a homeless guy, and I don't know if he's mentally well, but I wouldn't. I mean, one, you're setting a plastic tree on fire because it's not a real tree anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know when they changed it.
Well, did he technically set a forest fire because other trees surrounding caught fire?
Really?
Yeah. So.
Oh wow.
It's
I know the tree
semantics.
isn't. I know the tree isn't real.
Yeah.
I don't know when they changed it, but I remember when I used to visit when we visited. Like, this is one thing, family traditions we used to have. We used to go to New York City, like freezing cold. We're like literally walking like penguins like this because there's so many people wanting to see this dumb tree. They're just doing this, and we see the tree, like, come get together, take a picture, and then all right, then you just go to the next. Then you go see some of like the displays and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, in hindsight, it was a fun, sure, great memories. I love the memories, but just the whole idea of like, let's go to this one place to look at this one tree.
Yep.
And waddle like penguins in the freezing cold. People bumping into each other, sniffling, sneezing. Like, I don't know if I like that.
Yeah. It's like one of those things. It's like, like I just went on a trip to Boston recently before, Thanksgiving and the whole mess happened.
Or before you got COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get it, but
or before
the COVID situation. Yeah. But we went to Boston, and at some points you're just like, travel, but then you look back on like what you did, and you're just like, this is amazing. Yeah. And real quick, I'll give you a quick synopsis of this. Maybe we can talk about this on a different episode.
I think the train features at least one time every episode. I think that's fine.
That's how you know you're in Garfield, because of that train. That guy, whoever that guy is, he's been going ham on that.
Yeah. Oh, I grew up in Garfield up until like 7th or 8th grade, and they when they pass Garfield, they're hitting that horn for 2-3 miles.
Yeah, they're ripping on that thing. that whoever made those horns, you got my endorsement. But we went to Boston. We went to the Commons, the Common Grounds. It was a very popular destination, and God forbid, if you didn't know us, there was like a Antifa rally that
Really?
day. Yeah, and there were police. I have videos of it. It's crazy.
They're a friendly bunch.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't know me, and let's say the government's tracking people, like they would have thought we were in Antifa. We were going to Boston for the Antifa rally, and I'm sitting there with my parents. Then you see all these people.
Like, you're Hispanic.
Yeah, I see all these people that look like they used to go to Bloomfield Ave Cafe. If anybody's familiar with that venue, and just a bunch of like punk rock people, just fighting for their rights and not being racist and things like that. And then police just overreacting and just being just protecting statues because they think they're gonna get damaged. And then we're just sitting there like, all right, maybe we should move.
You should not be here.
And then we're like, all that happened, and it was just such a nice thing. It was a nice day. And it's like, look at that. If we didn't travel, things like that wouldn't happen. And
I'm not against like protesting. But don't make it. This is gonna sound so nearsighted and like deaf or blind or whatever, but like, don't make it inconvenient for like the normal person just trying to go to work.
Yeah.
Like as in like, I like there's a lot of like things that you should be like upset about and should protest about. But like, it's when you're standing in front of the road and people are just trying to get to work and they're like, get out of the road. Like, you don't care about animal rights. Like, no, I do. I'm trying to get to work because I need to gotta pay bills. And when you like close off streets and stuff, like, I don't.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
And then the people that and the protesters, like, now people look at you as a nuisance, not as someone to support, but as like another annoying thing they gotta like deal with now. So it's like weird. Can you even protest?
Yeah, and
without being a nuisance? I don't know. Like, I don't think maybe.
And those get tricky too, because then it's like it's like you're getting on a very dangerous path there, blocking a highway. You might encounter someone right at the front of that is literally on the brink of like they're on the edge of sanity and like their life keeping together, and you're blocking them from going to work, and they might hit you. Or, you know what I mean?
Or blocking an entrance to a building or exit to a building.
This might become like his, ruin his whole life.
Yeah.
Because, his mental state was not in the best place, and you're pushing him.
Or if a woman needs to get to the hospital to go get pregnant, like, to give birth, like, and you want to like protest.
Inadvertently, you're pushing people.
Like yeah. So anyway, I'm for protesting.
I just flipped the table.
Yeah. I'm for protesting, but it just it can easily be, your good cause can be viewed as like another just annoying thing, and which you don't want. You want people on your side with your cause, not against you, but for you. Yeah,
put some like thought into it. Think about it. Maybe brainstorm a little bit. And really take other people's
huddle
feelings.
Up and think about what's the next move. Yeah. But speaking of, I had a thought. About riots and stuff and crowded people and the Astroworld Festival crowd.
Ooh.
The which I wanted to mention the last episode. The Travis Scott. Is it his fault? So for those people that don't know what we're talking about, so Astroworld Festival crowd rush, about 9 or 10 people died. So this is like some time ago. So it's November 5th. Let me read this out so we get all the information. We're not spreading disinformation. This information is actually like from Wikipedia. So don't blame me if it's wrong. So on November 5th, 2021, at least 10 people died and hundreds were injured in a crowd crush moving toward the stage during Travis Scott's performance at the Astroworld Festival in Houston, Texas. I'm going to jump down. So Scott is seen doing the following, continuing to perform despite chants from the crowd pleading him to stop, observing at least one audience member had been hurt, then ordering security for a brief moment to help jump in real quick, keep going, only to continue with the rest of the show for the following hour, encouraging people to get wild, in quotes, and crazy, in quotes, despite an ambulance passing through the crowd that was pulling out lifeless bodies. Victims killed range from age 9 to 27 years old. So that's a bit. That's
yeah.
I do not envy Travis Scott's situation one bit. Is it his fault?
there's a lot to unpack
There's a lot
there because
there's a lot there. Yeah.
Is it his fault because this has happened before too?
Yeah. So
with him specifically.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get to Travis Scott, but one, the people that organize Astroworld, they are responsible to a large degree. Like why don't you have enough security? Why aren't you managing this crowd? Why did you sell so many damn tickets?
I'd say 60-30.
Yeah.
Travis Scott being the 30, the company being 60. And you know what? I know we spoke about this, but I don't think I even told you that I actually looked really extensively into this. And because being the fact that sometimes we're just like, oh, let's not talk about it till the podcast.
I mean, we forget to talk about
it. I watched like a lawyer and like going into deep. Have you seen anything on the production company's notes before going into the event?
No.
Their whole, I guess, MO was if there's a fatality, just clear it from the area and continue the event as if nothing's happening until like there's an immediate threat to the stage. You don't ever try to shut anything down, but you always try to neutralize it and push it out. So like they were already
so the show must go on kind of mindset.
Exactly. Okay. Even if people die, like their thing is they had like a code name for dead people. So like it's like almost like, were you expecting people to die?
So you have
like,
a protocol for dead people?
Yeah, they were calling them. There was a nickname and it was like very derogatory. I mean, to me it came off as derogatory, but maybe when I hear it again, it's like, all right, maybe it's just a random name.
They call him like what? Zombie? Yeah. We have another zombie.
It was I gotta get the name, but they had a name. Like so much so they had a nickname for the people. Like,
but there's a 9-year-old. Like
yeah,
exactly. But not to derail your argument. I'm not. But so if you're a parent or a grown adult, why are you bringing a 9-year-old to something like this? Like what?
Another thing is, why would you get so close enough? You know, I could understand like a kid telling a parent like, I want to get closer. You know, and like you wanted to be like that cool parent
or
that like
uncle. I don't know. Yeah.
You know, and like you used to be like, oh, I used to be in the pit. You know, like I'll bring you in the pit and didn't realize this isn't a normal concert. You know, like. But I would never, I would assume I would never put my child in danger type of thing, you know, like flight or flight. Yeah, like this is too close.
I don't know. It's just for me, the thing that I don't get, I'm not much of a concert guy. I mean, you performed, you're a musician. Yeah. So what's, I think it's like 50-50. Like, it's like, I show artwork in galleries. Is like, imagine if like one of my paintings got caught on fire because the gallery was not up to par. Is it my fault that the painting caught on fire and the whole building fell down? Was it the gallery's fault for not maintaining the building? Is that a bad analogy? I think it is, but work with me.
No, there's something to do with it.
But it's like, is it Travis Scott's fault 100%? No, because he's not the organizer of the event. But at the same time, there have been times in the past where didn't that other thing where there's a guy that climbed a big scaffold and then he taunted Travis Scott, like kind of told him to jump, and the guy actually jumped into a pit.
I didn't know.
I don't want to spread anything wrong, but it's just a video I saw, and the guy actually jumped. They're supposed to catch him, they never did, and I think he became paralyzed from the waist down. He sued Travis Scott. Completely different situation. Not the same Astroworld thing, but doesn't Travis Scott have like a history? First of all, his name isn't even Travis Scott, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's more of an alias, but I mean, he has.
Do you know where the name came from?
His
Travis Barker.
Travis Barker and Scott Mescudi, Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know
Did we
that.
say that in another episode?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Everything we did that. When I mentioned Travis Scott, like I know Travis Scott, but not because of his music, but because of all his like.
There I go, quizzing you on what you gave me the knowledge of.
There you go. But you've performed in, I don't think you've performed in Astroworld, I don't think.
No.
But you perform in crowds. Like, can you see things clearly? Can you not?
Yeah, I've played a range of shows. Like, I played at some big festivals like Warped Tour, things like that. I played to 5 people. I've played to just the other band, you know. So it's very different dynamic.
Play with each other. Just
we just switch places. All right, I'll see you up there.
Yeah,
but you know, it's a different dynamic when there's a lot of people, and mob mentality is a true thing. But like, he had like tweets leading up to the concert too that was like, I want you guys to go so wild like you never went before. Like, don't even come if you're not gonna go absolutely crazy. And it's just like, come on, dude. Like, you know, like then this happens, and now I hear that there's an interview where he's like visibly upset and
with Charlemagne. I'm not gonna call him the God. I refuse. I'm not calling Charlemagne the God. No, his name is Charlemagne. You can get that the God thing out of here. Anyway,
I used to go to in Hasbrook Heights 24-hour fitness. Shout out to them, but they always get flooded, so I stopped going. He used to go there, and I used to see him, and he, you know, he's kind of like got the Tom Cruise thing going, where he's like a really small in person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it surprised me.
Well,
because I didn't know.
A lot bigger and taller, but he's not.
Yeah, because just on the radio, you know, they're all sitting in the chairs, so you don't really know that. But he's very small guy, which is still cool. You know, nothing against small people. I love small people.
Actually, people tell about me. They'll see videos of me and think I'm like
6'4".
Like 6 something. And then they meet me. They're like,
really?
You're not that big. I'm like, I say it in the video. I'm not a tall dude. I'm actually pretty. I'm like, I have a little bit below average, but whatever. But go on.
My girl, my fiance, when we first met off the internet, she kind of
Tinder.
She kind of like threw my height at me. She's like, "You said you're 5'10". You're not 5'10". I'm like 5'9" and a half
with boots.
Right?
With boots.
5'9" and a half. Yeah. But
Charlemagne, you're cool, but the whole the God thing, I don't know where that.
Well, that's what I was going with it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the smallness with the, you know, kind of like the Napoleon type thing. That's where I think the God got added on. He was just like, you know, the thing. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just think like I personally don't really like him at all. Not to go away from Travis Scott, but I don't like Charlemagne. I never liked him.
Imagine we're gonna be on like the
he has like some like
the goat of the week. Like, these dumb podcasters say I'm not tall, I'm not big.
Yeah, Charlemagne,
you're cool, but you're eating the whole alien, like the
God thing.
The God thing is kind of odd.
No,
I don't know. Honestly, I love if he came here, I think it'd be great. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, but him and the Travis Scott interview, I just think that's like, it just reeks of like PR, you know? Like,
right. Well, Travis Scott did have a Instagram story that he put out like the 2 or 3 days later, and I don't know. I don't know if maybe he's one of those guys that doesn't really show his feelings, but I saw the video and I'm like, all right, it sounds very scripted, but I mean, obviously, like sometimes your people are in shock, there's a bunch of times when I was in shock when I went into something really bad and I couldn't cry, I couldn't react to it. I was just in shock. Like, I didn't know the words. Like, you're just still trying to like comprehend it. And then I'll admit that there's certain things that happened, like where I found out like a friend passed away, and then I find that information. I'm like, I just don't respond. Nothing clicks.
Yeah.
Until like, I don't know, like I passed by a burger place that me and him, like a hypothetical person, me and him like had a burger one time, and then it clicks, and I'm like, oh, then it hits me. Then I'm like, ball.
Yeah.
So maybe I saw the interview, the Charlemagne the God interview, and his Instagram apology thing. Maybe it hasn't clicked yet. Maybe it hasn't like hit him yet. Like, oh wait, people actually died. I don't know.
Another thing too.
So I don't want to judge him based on his response or lack thereof.
A lot of people in that world too are also self-medicated a lot. He could be just making his landing, you know, like from being Travis Scott, and now he's back to his personal self in that interview, you know.
There's the rope, yeah. That
could be a thing. That's, you know, that's just to disregard that at all would be just, you know, ignorant. But yeah, he, you know, I just feel like, I don't know, like, did you see this whole thing? Like, not to go on a tangent, but did you see there was like a
I think
huge
this whole podcast is a tangent. Go on.
Did you see there's a huge like response from that concert with like a conspiracy that it was like some kind of like sacrifice that people were supposed to die at the concert, and it was all this like satanic imagery.
Is this some QAnon stuff?
Yeah, it's kind of down that road, but not QAnon. QAnon is more like niche.
Yeah.
But
no, I have not heard about.
You didn't see that?
No.
Oh,
you gotta forward me that information.
Yeah, I mean, not that I'm like giving merit to that, you know, but I'm saying there was like a huge response that it like kind of like it took me aback. I had to like really look at it because again, I like to divulge in the conspiracies, and I like to take them and look at them and like put them up to the light.
Well, that's a different perspective. I don't know, believe in it, but that's a different perspective.
Definitely not, believe in it. But what I think is a lot of these artists, they like to use that because of that response, because people will be like, oh, they're Illuminati and they're,
Yeah. Well, one thing as an artist, at least for me as an artist, they always say or is told like, you want either your audience to love your work or to hate your work. You want them to respond in some way. The last thing you want is indifference. So to them, like let's use Marilyn Manson for example. Like when I was a kid, he used to like wear stuff. I don't want to say because I don't want to be demonetized. He would just wear a lot of like interesting things on stage. A lot of interesting behaviors, words, imagery. You look him up, you know who Marilyn Manson is. And is for a reaction, either people loved it and thought, wow, this guy's so edgy, or they hated it, but like very few people were indifferent towards it. And then it's like shock jock, like shock rock, shock art, shock rap. I don't know, but it's meant to engage you in some way to perform, either disgust or appalled, or it is very much calculated.
Yeah, and very interesting. Your example is another guy who combined two names of people.
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah. Travis Scott, Marilyn Manson's little parallel there.
I mean, Marilyn Manson obviously picked Marilyn Manson for the whole Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson thing. You guys know that. I mean, I'm sure our demographic knows who Marilyn Manson is. I hope you do.
Yep, they do.
But yeah,
I know our demographic does. But
I don't know who you guys are.
Another thing is I did the analytics. I know. No, I'm kidding.
Really?
No.
I don't run a YouTube channel.
The reason why I wanted to bring up the conspiracies thing is because we have a plan to bring in some guests.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And one of our guests he wanted to talk a little bit about some conspiracies, which is one of the
We're going to have a
topics.
sign here, like, let's not get fired. Or
don't get fired.
Just don't say things that will get us fired.
Yeah, but we're planning on doing that. We were talking about adding guests in the past, and we're planning on doing that very soon. We're going to do a 4-person podcast. And, hopefully episode 26 maybe. That would be the one.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe this year or next. Well, not next year seems like a long time, but... And I want to say his name, but a very well-known and established jiu-jitsu practitioner and grappler. I won't say his name yet. Very established. Won Abu Dhabi once or twice. Maybe a third time. We'll see. But we're still trying to figure out like the day and even location. Most likely here, but we'll see.
Yeah. Very excited for that too.
Why I'm being secretive? I don't know. I feel like being secretive. Whatever.
It's like like on radio they do like teases.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But cool guy. I've trained with him in the way like right when I started jiu-jitsu. We kept in touch, and he's doing really well for himself. I like seeing people that I won't say start from nothing, nothing like that, but like start from their being really ambitious and having a vision, and then 10 years later they're like making waves in that business or that demographic or that art that they chose to pursue. Like they're really excelling. I use the word attractive loosely, but success is attractive. Like it's like, oh, like how, and we'll talk about how he got so successful, how he trains, like how do you build a business with your significant other as business partners. There's a lot there to talk about.
Yeah, that's a very interesting dynamic that, it's a really important balance too,
And and competing at a really high level in grappling and jiu-jitsu, but also running a school.
Yeah.
And
And
and then the whole pandemic thing happened, and how do you maintain a jiu-jitsu school during a pandemic and making financial ends meet, like all that stuff. So that I told him about it. He's like, yeah, I'm all in, and we'll try to make it happen within hopefully January.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely. One of the things I definitely want to talk about is like some of his like most notable victories, because like personally from a musician standpoint and the way I I'm not one of those people that's like, you know, I want to be famous. I want to, my thing was like, I want to play awesome shows with cool bands that I like. So equating that to like kind of martial arts, it's almost like, you know, like some of your best victories as opposed to like, you know, more like the business standpoint, things like that. So that's kind of, you know, that, and he has a lot of good ones. So that's really be a nice one to talk about.
I think he won the Abu Dhabi twice.
Yeah, but there's one, you know, I don't want to give it away by saying one, but you know,
he won too.
He beat a really good practitioner in the world.
Yeah, several, many. But yeah, anyway, I mean, we're almost hitting an hour by this point.
Yeah, no, it's going. There's a lot of stuff we didn't touch on though, but we'll have it for next episode.
I think that's the norm.
Yeah, these episodes are, you know, they're flowing a lot more freer, and you know, we're glad you guys are on a journey with us. Episode 25.
Yeah. Our subscription tapered. How dare you? So make sure you subscribe. If you subscribed, send this link to somebody else, this video or the page, and. Well, because I hate saying the algorithm. It's the algorithm, you know. It's this thing. Like if you're not going up like constantly with subscribers and views, it's like, I don't know. It's really that's a whole other hour of complaining. But you know, like and subscribe and comment.
We kind of have a nice little, you know, vision going into the next year of the podcast. So, you know, that's very interesting too, and
more guests.
Yeah, and you know, exciting. So yeah, thank you guys so much. You know, again, leave some comments if you have something you want to let us know, something you wanted to talk about. And thank you guys for checking in again. Have a happy New Year, happy holiday.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in 2022. My name is Jose. My co-host
David Diokendo.
And this is Words Are Tough.
Bye bye.
See you next year.